Evening, folks. Welcome back to the channel. Typical sync issues. Just getting everything set up on my side. I've got most of it. I've got, well, I'm just streaming on YouTube, but I've got my Twitch chat room opened up because if you have it's gonna fight with me. If you have a handle on Twitch, you have a chat room, even if you don't have any content. Like I have no content on Twitch. I'm just a name over there. But it gives you a chat room. So I've got that open for myself. And of course I am on YouTube. Great. Trying to tap all the buttons correctly the first time. So far, so good. Yeah, since I've got Twitch opened up. I can open that up before I set up anything else, so I get that open and then I can't do the chat room for YouTube until I'm live, so you get to deal with the sync issues and just me trying to find a way to talk through them. Oh, what's up, Lisa Gray and Jenna? Glad you made it. Yeah, you kind of can't tell now because it's so dark. Maybe it's just because of my computer. I've got it turned dark for myself, but this is a purple top hat. I'm just realizing now with the black shirt, it kind of just makes everything look. It almost looks black to me, but again, the color is going to be different for you guys. I'm sure you guys have better vision, so you don't have to turn everything down so super low. Like when I was watching The Prestige, I had to like seriously like hit the button to raise the brightness up because it's kind of hard to tell with Chris Nolan films because he does like the darkness, but you can still see what's going on. So it's not like watching Hannibal from 2001 or whatever that one battle was towards the end of the Game of Thrones. You cannot see jack shit. I've got it. You can't see nothing. Oh, Russell, glad you made it. And um uh, JP, what's up? Says a nice hat. It looks wonderful on you. Thank you. Russell said nice hat too. Thanks. It was a gift. I have I don't know how far back to go. I because I got the avatar first, and then I used it one day, and then Robin Williams died, so I put it back. And then when my friend died, I was not the same person, so I've been the purple top hat longer than I've known JP. Okay, yeah, as I was saying it, it's like JAI is like J, the letter P is like the letter P, like initials, brain. Yeah. Um, that's just a premiere lease. I was gonna say that. Don't worry about that. He's got these set up for like the whole week going on. They're at different times. Like sometimes they're at 2 p.m., sometimes they're at 7 p.m. But Frank is off until the 27th. He's on vacation. At least last year, I remember he did this because I was live for it. He's up in Collinsport, Maine. So this is just like an alternate theory for schizophrenia. I know English. That's just something that's Raven from the other night. That's just a clip of what you've seen it before. I'll put it like that. Uh like he's got one coming up on the 22nd. Uh that's just some premiere like because he's not going to be going live. He's like traveling around and driving and like with his family and like doing stuff and asking people if they're vampires and things like that. So it's just to keep stuff going on the channel while he's not going live, just to let YouTube know he's not dead or something. Because you can't just I have heard YouTube is like, if you're a live streamer, just stick with that. If you upload videos, just stick with that. Something like YouTube does not um like it wants you to do one or the other. I guess it doesn't like if you do both. Or maybe the way I'm understanding it is people just in general either upload videos or go live. They don't do both. So that's why things have just divided the way they have. Because I started out uploading videos and just found out that people prefer to see me live. So now I've got it stuck in my head that I have to do everything live. Which it's not. It might be scary to think that way. I like the live reaction. Now that I've been going live for a year, it would be so hard to sit here and record a video and have to remember some kind of script and not have any kind of reaction to go off of. I mean, I could do it if I had to, but it would just be weird to go back to that. A 10-4 Eleanor. Lisa Gray, yeah. Oh, well, let me make sure I've got the phone on. Just in case. I've got the phone number in the description. It's 419-359-8869. Just going to turn up the notifications. Just in case. It's there if you want to use it. If not, it's going to... Lisa Gray, stuck in your head under your fabulous purple hat. I know, yeah, maybe it's going to make me think better. It's because what happened was... I haven't been turning on the heat. Sometimes I do it at night, but then the first thing in the morning, I have to put the laptop on the charger. So I'd rather have, um, well, like the cooler it is in the room, the better it is for the equipment. That's all there is to it. Jenna said, yeah, I like your off the cuff humor live. Yeah, see, I can't, like I am not a joke writer. I've got like lines that I think are funny, but it's not like I'm, like a man walks into a bar. What did the one person say to the other person? I don't have jokes like that, so I can't, but like say like as I'm going through Dark Shadows, like every once in a while something will like occur to me that's just funny AF, so I write it down because like yeah, that's funny in the moment. Um but it's not like every single episode I've got like jokes for every single scene, or some episodes are just not funny. Sometimes they're funny all the way through. Sometimes I'm literally cracking up watching Dark Shadows like it's like a comedy show, and it's more of a campy horror soap opera. They've got jokes in that show. Oh my god, they've got some one-liners. Fuck, some sarcasm too. Oh my god, it's so good. They've got it all. They've got it all. Not quite getting into that yet because we had a whole ass show on Monday and a movie review. Lisa Gray, I fuck up jokes, so I don't even try anymore. Yeah. What you never want to do is explain a joke, no matter how much you fail at it. Like you watch the Boondock Saints, right? And dude, he's trying to tell the joke, and he's like, "This is not my best work. I'm sorry. I'm just not funny today." He's like apologizing for it through it. Don't be that guy. It ended up being funny at the end. Like I say, don't that's like the one time somebody stumbled through a joke and it was funny, but that's literally the only time in the history of comedy. Any other time, just don't explain the joke. Um, Sometimes you kind of have to, but do not make a habit of it. As a general rule, don't explain it. Just let it happen. If they don't get it, it's their fault. Double down and make another joke they don't get, and then just keep at that and just keep going. Then I can't remember jokes. I can remember tons of one-liners. There's so much dialogue I've picked up over the years and jokes and things that I'm just like part of me is just waiting to find a time to say it in real life. Like this exact line from this TV show or this movie 30 years ago works perfectly. Right now, the chat room, like verbatim. I don't gotta change a word. Fuck yeah. And I can remember that stuff, but not what I just said. So like type there. It's funny. So like I know that's not my own joke. I'm not a joke stealer. That's my problem. I've picked up so much comedy, I'll start repeating things that other people have said. And hey, I heard that joke back in 1980. Well, I must have heard it too. Sorry. It happens. I'm not usually a hat wearer either, so if I'm even extra fidgety, sorry. I didn't know I was going to dress like this. It's cool in here. It's 65 Fahrenheit, so I've been shivering all day. But I was like, wait, that means I can wear my long sleeve shirt and not sweat balls through it. So I threw this on, and then I realized that, well, first I realized I was going to wear my hat, and then I realized I was going to wear my hair down. And then I remembered I only conditioned the top of my head and not the rest. So it's not like this gets very much better. Oh, Francois, glad you made it. Jenna, what do you call a cow with no legs? I do remember this one. A cow with no legs. I don't know. And then it's like, well, like, do I clip it back into something? Cause I could take my hair. I wanted to show you guys this before because I mentioned it. A couple of things. Look at what, see, like this part in my hair. It's like I buzzed it right back. It's not that bad in real life. It's just what the camera does to it. But I wanted to show you this because my hair is like long. You can't tell because of the black shirt, but it's, a couple feet long, whatever it is. But if I were to take it, if I were to get my hair cut short like that, like when I look 50 years old, I look like one of those people, back when you had to take pictures and you just had to hold still for 2 minutes. Like that's how I look. Yeah, I don't need to look any older so the hair's staying. And the hat, it was actually a gift. I got the Avatar, things went bad, that I'm at Franklin's, and I had a sensation that one day I would own a purple top hat, but I knew I would never buy one. And then Thick Rick got this for me. Lisa Gray says, geez, 65 is a heat wave for me. Oh my God. Like my feet are cold now. I shouldn't have drunk. I should have eaten more. I shouldn't have drunk so much. Now I might have to have an intermission. Jenna, ground beef. Hell yeah. Oh, steak? Are we eating? Lisa, do cut your hair at 2 minutes 10. It used to be longer, but at the time that this was, oh, it's like 9 years ago, I had to wear a just regular baseball cap, some kind of hat. I just got sick of how many times I had to wrap my hair around my hand before I clipped it up. So I just took some regular ass scissors and just cut off some of the dead ends. What's up, Patrick? Glad you made it. Francois, yeah, 65 Fahrenheit is 18 Celsius, not so hot. That's cold for me. Like 65 Fahrenheit, 18 Celsius, that is going outside in a hoodie, plus like thermals under my pants, plus like either two shirts or just one long sleeve shirt and then hoodie, scarf. I always wear a hat out. Not this hat. Um, yeah, that's it. It's got to be at least 10 degrees more. Oh, Jenna, okay, I get it now. What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef. Spoilers for The Walking Dead. I believe it was season 7. They were showing, how they make action figures for everything. Well, it was the action figure for Glenn, but instead of it being like a figurine in there, it was just a piece of some. It was just like ground, beef that you would get at the store. That's Maggie Green's fault. I'm starting to feel a little bit more like a human. I'm not saying things are getting better, but it's the 500 milligrams of caffeine plus the energy drink has me feeling like a human. I haven't felt this way for a while. Don't know really how to act. I believe the sun's in Gemini as well. That's only going to help. What's up to the Geminis out there? I believe that's true. Where do I have that saved? Do I still have it saved? Um, I do like the Brave browser because I use it, but it's not instinctive to find the bookmarks just because they changed the way the little like the glyph looks to find it. Yeah, Gemini begins at uh 18:55, so just a little over an hour. Cool. Francois, cow with no legs, poor cow. Twice as many stars. Not gonna explain that. If you know, you know. Yeah, doing fine. I like that it's cool. I want it to be cold for filming purposes, so I am totally fine with this. And then like half of me was thinking it was Saturday today, and I was like, wow, that was a really short week. But wait a minute, Grace Still Plays didn't upload today, so it can't be Saturday. Let me look at my calendar. Jenna said, I heard last night that the monster drinks are causing blood cancer. I think it's a thorine. I'm just doing this week. It's just because I have to perform. There's the sucralose. I don't know, it's like 6 or 7 lines of chemicals. I'm sure it's available online. Yeah, it's not. No, like, take my advice. Don't do what I'm doing. If you can find a way to be delete yourself depressed and give yourself energy naturally, let me know. Like cocaine would not help. That would just make me mad, and I'm already mad, so that's not what did not even consider that. I'm sure it is causing cancer. Yeah, it cannot be good for you. Lisa Gray, I had a strong French press an hour ago. Was going to finish outdoor project. Nope. Damned proverbial 25-mile-an-hour wind again. Damn, that's too much. Francois, LOL, yes. I always leave an open tab for bookmarks because I always don't remember where they were. Yeah, I've got like stuff just saved that's just up all the time. And then I've got like stuff, like saved, and then I forget I have it saved. Michael, what's up? Yeah, on Brave. I don't know if it's been windy again. If it wasn't such a fight to find that weather app, I might take it off of my phone completely because I just do not care. But back here just on Monday, like today is the May 20th, 2025. So this was May 19th, 2025. Oh, that was so long ago. Oh my God. I mean, like by the date, it just says it was yesterday, so I'll take its word for it, but it feels longer ago. And that's funny because I've been sleeping in, not sleeping in, but just not getting out of bed on time. Because as soon as I move, stuff's gonna hurt, so I move. But Frank mentioned that I guess this is the week of his wedding anniversary. Because I remember before he got engaged, he was like Frank is usually kind of like the same temperament wise, but he'd come onto the show and he was just like a little bit angrier than usual. Like, he didn't say exactly what, because he usually doesn't. But you could tell. I could tell. It was just, like something was just on his mind or pissing him off. Like something so much that it came through just that little bit. But it wasn't enough to like, hey Frank, why are you acting this way? It was almost the weekend. I thought, hey, let's go through the weekend. Maybe it's been a long week. So then we come back on Monday, and Frank's like, hey, I proposed. She said yes. We're like, oh my God, maybe he was just like stressed out about proposing, and he didn't want to tell us because if his wife or if fiance watched the show and found out that's kind of like a terrible way to find out you're engaged is to find out secondhand from somebody else. But it didn't happen that way. Lisa, I estimate I have about 1,200 open tabs. Yeah. Jenna, Richard Gere was great last night. LOL. Yeah, a few people asked about that. Well, what I wanted to bring up first, but Frank mentioned that, like, oh, I remember this time. He got married in 2017, so however many years it's been. But they had to do a rehearsal dinner. Sora, glad you made it. Why do people have to rehearse dinner before a wedding? Like, was it the first time he ate dinner? Was it the first time he used table manners? Is it to make sure everybody else has table manners? Like, is it so you don't eat the dessert first? And they'd be like, oh shit, we're supposed to eat the salad and soup. Like, is it so you know how to pick up a glass? Like, you don't hold it by the fucking bowl, you hold it by the stem. Like, well, I don't understand what you need to rehearse about dinner. It sounds as a rehearsal dinner sounds as dumb as drug test. Like, sure, I'll trust any drugs you want as long as it doesn't come out of a needle. What do you do? Just the name of it sounds like I know what it is, but the name of it makes it's like like is it really that choreographed? Honestly, the server should be the one choreographing their movements, and you're just supposed to sit still and ease. So it's maybe it is because people really do not know table manners. I was watching like people just like setting a table. And like they had like the knife and fork switched, and I knew they were right-handed. It's like right away, no, I'm clicking off the video. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I'm gone. No, I'm running away. I'm scared. Michael said, am I comfortable receiving reefer in the mail? We need to hire a Frankly exclusive immigrant. Yeah, we need a Frankly in Mexico to start like running like trash hefty bags of stuff to smoke it on the balcony up to us. But yeah, Frank's guest is actually this fella named Richard Gage, like tire gauge. But the way Frank found this dude was he slid into the man's wife's DMs. So he knew her first, and then like that's how he got to like get him on the show. But like I caught that. Like, wait, you met how? But yeah, this guy is oh Michael says to Jenna, you are pre-qualified for matrimony. And Lisa Gray said, do they have a table dance at rehearsal dinners? Right? Like, is it like the etiquette? Like don't touch the stripper, like dollar bills. I just, is it like, do you rehearse the fight? Because there has to be a fight at the wedding. Like, do you like arrange that? Like, all right, at about 26 minutes in, not 25, but 26. That's you. That's your cue. So if it gets to 30 minutes and you still have not fought, you're going to hear about it after the ceremony. You got to learn how to take a hit and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I wasn't at Frank's wedding. I don't know. I've just seen a few pictures. I know it was outside, so there's plenty of room to, fight. Maybe it was private property, so the cops wouldn't get called. But anyway, Richard Gage, this guy knows all about a 9/11, the Twin Towers collapsing, Building 7, everything that was going on that day. It was just one day 5 years later, and he realized things were not adding up. So he started doing his own research, and that's just what he's been doing ever since. And it's great because the guy comes on, and his background is just a solid static picture. Nothing was moving, nothing like flashing, nothing like that, nothing too bright. But it was taken as if my first thought was it's almost as if you're working in your office building, you can't take it anymore, so you jump out of a window. But as you're falling, you turn it back around and like take a picture of the buildings as you're falling, because that's how it looked. It was like the Twin Towers here and then another building here, and it was shot from that perspective. Like all you needed to see was like a hand and a foot, and it would have been like a it would have been a hilarious background image. He wasn't going for the joke. I get it. But I'm thinking, cool, I can, like, the background's dark. I can see this. Zora said, I thought he was a shill, respectfully. Michael said, I haven't been to a rehearsal that wasn't. Is that a typo? That wasn't rumbled. Francois, it would be nice to have Christopher uh, Bollyn, Bollyn, on Quite Frankly, the author of the book Solving 9/11. Oh, Michael kind of realizing I'm a bit country. That's all right. That's all right. The problem was, now all this guy's put together like a ton of information. He's got articles, he's got video clips, he's got interviews, like he's got all the information somewhere. I wouldn't know where, because the first thing he does is he's got his awesome PowerPoint presentation all set up, all ready to go in white mode. I couldn't see Dick. If there was Dick on the screen, I couldn't see it because the edges were too bright. And I tried to look, like at times he was playing videos and you could look up and see it. And it's, I don't know, man. If you're watching TV that day, you remember all this stuff. But folks talking about how they heard like a series of explosions, controlled collapse, and showing demonstrations of like buildings that tip over versus buildings that are like a controlled demolition where it just crumbles. Stuff like that. So he's got all of his examples. Like he's got like receipts the same way Jim Lee would. I guess because I was just listening to it. It was just too bright. I had to have a hat on. So I'm like, okay, so if I got to run off my imagination to just get through this, and it was interesting information, it would have been nice to see, but so I'm just listening. I got to use my imagination to fill in the rest of it. So it started to get a little bit silly, and that's fine by me. Francois, he did a great job. That's good. Michael, conflict. Oh, rumbled means guys fighting. Oh, I like a rumble. Oh, got it right. English. Francois, the issue with architect and engineer is that they don't touch the tiny hat's involvement in 9/11. Yeah. Oh shit, Jenna, I was working in an office when that happened. God damn, like shit, is my building next? God damn. Gonna eat my lunch real quick. I don't want to die with a empty stomach. But yes, background looks like he jumped out of a building. So we are all in there with our like speculation. Like some like half of us are serious, but half of us are being silly, and then I think we're kind of moving around a bit because we, it's been a thing for so long that we've all got our theories, and nobody, like most people alive today, can't remember anything before 2004. So it's just left up to us to solve this. Michael said, didn't hear Richard Gere's prolapse theory episode. Oh, I missed that. So it's like, well, what if in the plane, like planes, air quotes, drink, because we never like see the planes. They always go directly into the building. Then we see explosions. I've only ever seen one video in the almost 24 years since it's happened of an actual plane going into the building. Any other footage you've ever seen of it, the camera's like looking away at some random nothing, and then it comes back, and then you see, oh, smoke, people running. They just also all happen to look away at this one moment. Uh, and a building 7. A building 7 was just it was emo. It did one of those copycat sewer slides, so it just collapsed. It just wanted to be like trendy, so it fell out. It was emo anyway. The real target was building 7, but the two planes hit the two towers instead. All of our theories, but then I figured this out because I was starting to kind of think how, like, wow, this guy's kind of like the Zells of 9/11. Like I was saying, there needs to be the Zells of 9/11, the Zells of Dealey Plaza. And as I said that, and then somebody in the chat room, they're like, the Zells with a question mark, and now they're like, I'm not gonna say who it was, like, because I like them and all, but they're kind of new, like maybe within the last year or so. But how have they missed the Zells? Like Frank Zell literally just called in last week. But I'm glad it was a chat room because like you don't know who the Zells are. I didn't get mad. I was just I wasn't yell. It's okay if you hadn't heard of them before. Frank and Jim Zell in the Zeller. On Twitter, Frank Zell is Frank Z2137. Jim Zell is in the Zeller. And they know everything about the JonBenét Ramsey case. It was like the week it happened, maybe 2 or 3, 4 days tops later, Frank Zell's like, hey, wait a minute, there's something funny about this. And they know more about the case than anybody now. Like, you're not going to hear anything they know on mainstream media. It's literally just coming out of their mouths. They're finishing up a book. Like, a book's going to be coming out sometime within the year, like between now and a year from now, not like saying like this year. I forget what he said. And then after the book comes out, that's when they can start getting into thinking about making a documentary. So they know everything that MSM doesn't want us to know about the JonBenét Ramsey case. That's them. And then you'll know them when they call in because, well, you kind of can't tell with Jim Zell, but Frank Zell has more of an accent. He's got that Brooklyn accent. Zora said Gage running damage control through the PSYOP. Francois, all the proof of the Enron scandal was in Building 7. Oh, yeah, that's right. So they are lost. No justice will be served, I suppose. So convenient. Yeah, interesting how that happened. Like, oh no, we lost all that evidence the very next day. Oh no, shocked Pikachu face reaction. So I started thinking, okay, like thinking about the Zells, thinking about there needs to be like the Zells for these other, events that have happened in history. I think that's what got me thinking about this. Because when it comes to Dealey Plaza, no one ever looks into that grassy knoll guy. Maybe he did 9/11. Grassy knoll did 9/11. I figured it out yesterday. Yesterday. That guy. But then I said that, and I'm like, I can't follow it up with, and I'm not suicidal because that would be a lie, but I doubt I'm going to drop dead for figuring that out. This channel is not that big. It's getting bigger though. I'm up to like something like 238 subscribers. Thank you guys. Holy shit, thank you. Uh yeah. Last I saw. Yeah, 238, thank you. Also, I want to say after this show, like, give it 2 days to update, but then you'll see, like, by then I'll have 12K views on the channel. That's incredible. So thank you guys. Francois, yeah, that's democracy for us. The friggin' lies. Then I don't know about this. Like, were there like chemtrail chemicals on the planes that hit the towers? And that's when I got the, like planes. I'm like, oh, right, sorry, yeah, there were no planes, my bad. So, I was just speculating because I couldn't see the screen. And then Zora said this. I had not thought of this before. She said, investigate the insurance claims after everything fell. Who was claiming after that? Great question. I'd never considered that before. I'm sure maybe other people have. I certainly have not. Great question. And somebody, oh yeah, because Frank mentioned that he's going up to Maine for his vacation. I did not write down who said this, but somebody said in Maine, in the summertime, the sunset can be after 10 p.m. Is that true? Well, like, quite frankly, ends. And there's still an hour of like twilight left? For real? Only because on Dark Shadows, it's like the sun seems to set very early on that show, like 7, 8 p.m. It's dark, and I'm pretty sure it's summertime, and I know that's not how it works, but it also never snows on that show either. But I'm like 10 p.m. That sounds like some Alaska shit. That's crazy. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, today is Frank's wedding anniversary. 2017's 8 years, 8 years. Yeah, a minute. Is it really that long? Yeah, well, I've been around for 10 and a half. Yeah. Sorry, yeah, exactly. Tip the hat. You thought of it. You thought of it. And now we got the Alaska shit. Yeah, like or Japan. It's 4:30 a.m. There's just the top of the sun on the horizon. Why? Why so early? Like you can seriously wait 2 full ass hours and it's okay. We don't need this much light at 4 fucking 30. Like there's people, like there's teenagers still partying. Probably not in Japan because it's different, but in a normal part of the world, there's teenagers partying at 4:30 still. I don't need to be like putting on my sunglasses then when I'm still doing bumps. It just it's too early. Who thought of that? No. How are you? How can there be vampires up in Alaska when it never? Because they have times when it's just sun all the time. I've seen. I saw a video of it once, so it's got to be true because a comedian said it. So how do they? I don't know. I don't know how they deal with that up there. Francois, yeah, because it's the country of the rising sun. You sons of bitches. Zora, lol. Now, I'm not one to follow news stories, but this one come up and I thought, okay, you guys are seriously like the news is just seriously repeating itself. Jenny, yeah, let's do away with daylight savings. Exactly. We have to have it so at noon the sun is directly above us. That just makes sense for navigational purposes. So it would be no like springing forward. It would just be, what's up, hubby? Chap, glad you made it. Lisa, sunset nowadays, what's that like? Is it just bright all the time? That would make me crazy. And do you have the opposite? Is it like just like dark all the time sometimes? Like, oh, it's March, just gonna be dark until April. It's just like this every year. Like some Game of Thrones type of stuff. But yeah, here's the news repeating itself, and it hasn't even been a full year if I can remember it, because here we go. There's a boat hit a bridge in New York. It was like this old school. It was a Mexican boat. It was the Mexican Navy, but it was like a boat with sails on it. But it was tacky as fuck. They had lights all across every single place you could put lights up on the ship. It was all lit up, but all the sails were wrapped up. So like they didn't know how to pull down the sails and direct the ship because they were too busy lighting it up like a fuck ugly Christmas tree. And then bam, it got fucking elbowed. It got clotheslined by like I don't know the Brooklyn Bridge somewhere, something. It was on the news. You guys watch the news. Yeah, so that boat got fucked up. But like what is this theme with okay, this is twice now a boat lost power. How did it lose power? Because I saw it lit the fuck up when it hit that bridge. Don't lie to me. I know the difference between on and off. Lost power. You lost your goddamn mind. So it's like all of these boats are just in love with these bridges and love tap, and then suddenly people get hurt. Just don't be getting on these horny ass boats, and this won't happen. Like I can't, you should just get like a vibe when you're like getting on the boat. Like, wait, hold on. This boat wants to get it on. It's pulling up OnlyFans on my phone. I'll take the next boat. Jenna, yeah, China junk. Beach Chap, it could also be due to the dark colored shirt as well. Yeah, it could be. That's the lighting is just odd. Sometimes it makes me look a little bit green, but like everything is gray. I don't my green stuff's in my pipe and that's over there. Zora, lost propulsion reportedly. Yeah, so it couldn't they couldn't control their speed. And how do you got these people on a boat and they don't know how to lower down the sails? Like you haven't watched any of the five Pirates of the Caribbean films. You haven't figured being on the boat, knowing the ropes. That's where that phrase comes from, and they know no ropes. It looked embarrassing as fuck, like they were just letting it happen, which I'm sure that's what really did happen. So if I had a nickel for every time I remembered a boat smashed into a bridge, I'd have 2 nickels, which is not a lot, but it's odd that it's happened twice, and I can remember it. Lisa Gray, yeah, I'm beginning to get slightly suspicious. Yeah, like once, anything can happen once, twice. You know how we feel about coincidences. Don't let it happen a third time. Zorataki AF, yeah. Oh, God, it was the ugliest. It's like when you go to Cedar Point at night, which I don't like to do because they turn on all the light bulbs and all you can see is the spider webs with, like all the bugs caught up in the spider webs. And it just makes it like just cheapens the experience. I don't know how to it just cheapens it. I don't like that. I'm usually can get everything done during the daytime when I have gone there before. I've rarely been there in the evening. That's part of it. Like the whole like they do a trick or treat type of thing over there. I don't travel when the sun's at a water sign. I haven't been to their Halloween thing. Yeah, before it happened in Baltimore. I knew it was in the United States too. Jenna said, "Isn't that the only bridge to get food and stuff onto the island?" Oh, I don't know. I'd have to look into that a little bit more because I don't recall exactly. Was it the Brooklyn Bridge? I don't remember my uh New York geography the way I once used to. Francois, I'm like George Carlin. I never believe anything the government says. Yep, same. Lisa Gray, I think it was rigged. Bada bing, my first impromptu joke. Good one. It was. Oh my god, that was good. Zora, anyone ever gone on a cruise? Is it fun or claustrophobia? Well, when you're on a cruise, you're in international waters, so if somebody wants to chuck you off the side and then have you go missing forever, they certainly can. Back when they were doing back when Family Annihilation was very popular in 2020 and 2021, I heard that only people who had gotten some extra things medically injected into their body were the only people allowed on cruises. I would never go. I mean, certainly not by myself. It doesn't sound fun at all. Jenna said, I went on my first cruise in 2013. Oh, cool. Did you go anywhere? Or does it just like make a big loop and bring you back to like Florida or something? And then we figured it out. Frank's not going on vacation. He's going to rehab. Alcoholic. You get that's why he's so shaky at that one Monday stream. He's got the DTs in his shit. That's it. That's gonna be the new noise. Can you please not freeze? Thank you. Yeah, the cannon's gonna turn Frank into an alcoholic. Now they had some, I don't know what the hell is this about. Some dude, some politician, he gets up there and he does his speech. And then like there's some like kid, some gay kid in the audience crying. Well, I guess that was his son. And I'm like, okay, well, why are they showing his son? Well, what the hell's like I've seen gay people before. Why is he special? They didn't mention he was gay. They didn't have to. I saw his hair. But I don't know, maybe he was like some kind of uh like nonverbal like not like retarded or something, but just one of those people that has just like a Asperger's, something like that. A condition, full stop. But then they mentioned how he's going to speech therapy, and now he can talk and all this stuff. And then, like I said, the boy looked queer as hell. So I said, sucking dick is not speech therapy. Otherwise, none of them would have a lisp. So I don't get that. BHF, yeah, I still remember when the that virus was transmitted by those. Jenna said, I enjoyed it. The person I went with got the norovirus and lost 10 pounds from shitting themselves. Wow. You know what? If you have to lose weight quickly, food poisoning is the way to do it, because I'm not saying do this regularly. This is not a healthy thing to do. But what I'm saying is, if you've never had food poisoning, anything in you eventually makes its way out. That way, when you are well again, it takes a few days of eating before you're, let's say, in the bathroom again, evacuating. So I don't know how much extra food stays in a body, but if you need to suddenly flush everything out, I also heard Chipotle gave people food poisoning. I would start there. I've personally never been. Yeah, beach chip. Yeah, no bad sexual language. Thanks. This is the final caution. Yeah, trying to keep it cleaner. Oh, Lisa Gray, ours was a week-long one. Basically went around Cuba with stops. Did the Virgin Islands a few years later. Yeah, they're not virgins anymore, huh? Now they're the slut islands. Oh, Jenna says, I have a site you can go to if you want to get big savings last minute. Yeah, if anybody's going on a cruise, hit up Jenna. I really hate to do an intermission, but I really have to run to the bathroom. So I'm just going to leave everything on awkwardly and come back in. It's just, I drank too much and it's too cold. And I only had one sandwich. I did it to myself. I'm learning. One day I'll go live for a year and I'll get all this stuff figured out. But just stay where you are. I don't even know where to. Can I? Can the? There you go. Oh my God, Nikki turned into a hat. Okay. How do I get out of here? How do I get in here and not knock anything over? Yeah, that worked out. Oh, that wasn't super awkward. Ugh. Oh, I should have given you a song to listen to. I don't know if this is a real song. It's called Endless Nights by Lady Gaga. It might be fake, but I need it to be real. I don't, yeah, Danny, yeah, you leave for 1 minute and just, son of a bitch. It was my bad. I think I'm just drunk too much. I drank like more. Oh, there it is. I was gonna say, where's my my energy drink at? I just drank too much, not alcohol. But yeah, well, what's up, Dandy? Glad you made it. Yeah, so Frank asked us to, yeah, Lisa Gray, BRB, perfect time to attend the fucking sump pump. That GD water. Yeah, so shout out to Shane B because he found the Prestige free online, and that's the link that I was sharing around. And I tried to get it to play on the TV, and it was just not. I mean, I was frustrated anyway, so it was just not happening. And you know what? What the hell? Let me just fire up the laptop. It'll be fine. So that's why I watched it. The only really time I had a problem was like that last scene, and Frank did play the clip of it. And I'm like, dude, I had to put the subtitles on for this. I don't like the one character. You know, spoilers for the Prestige because while I did watch it for Frank's movie review, I didn't watch it to review myself, so I don't have 8 or 9 pages of notes. It's just two because I just thought I didn't know how Frank did his movie reviews. I didn't know if he were just gonna talk about like general concepts. Was he gonna go scene by scene so I could get my thoughts out that way? No. And then like the chat room was kind of like all over the place too. Like half of us were just talking about, I like this scene, I like this part. And some of us are following along with what Frank is saying. And at one point I said something, and that's when Frank brought up the same thing. Maybe I'll remember that. So, like, if you have not seen The Prestige, this is totally going to spoil things about it, and I'm sorry. Um, it is the kind of movie you do want to rewatch after it gets so far into it, especially towards the end. You're like, dude, if I were to watch this again, like so much more would seep in because now I know. Didn't have that kind of time, so I've just seen it the once. So it is something like you do want to watch it, like watch it again, maybe a third time, but definitely at least twice and keep your eyes open. Beach chapter, this happens to me as well in the extra warmer weather summer months. Get up only once or twice in the middle of the night. Now it's almost the colder weather months and get up. Yeah, sometimes I wake up for the bathroom. Sometimes I sleep through it. There really is no rhyme or reason to it. So I was just basically like I was not stopping the video at all. I was just kind of like taking little notes to try to, like I wasn't trying to learn the characters' names or nothing like that. But like I recognized some actors. So if you don't want it spoiled, never watch Quite Frankly because he will spoil random ass films that he's seen without a spoiler warning. I will give you a spoiler warning. Um, I wasn't watching this for work. I was watching it for fun, so it's not going to be like a normal movie review. That's why I didn't name the this episode after that. I'm not going to sit here and talk about something I can't remember because I watched it the 18th. That was so long ago for me. Did I said I wake up 2 or 3 times at night most nights? I'll wake up at 4 or 5 in the morning with everything still on, and then I put myself to sleep. Or like today, I woke up at like 8:15 when I set my clock for 9. So I just slept until 9:30, and then I didn't get out of bed until 10:30. So if I can't go to bed any earlier and I want to sleep more, that means I just got to get up later. Don't like to do that, but this is a film from 2006, so I guess you've had time to see it. Uh, it doesn't really come up in popular culture. Like, you're not going to really see memes of it or people talking about the end of it anywhere else. But it does have Michael Caine. You guys know him from Quills. I've brought up Quills before. We just saw him in The Man Who Would Be King. But Michael Caine is sort of like he's not like the main character. It's as if there's three main characters. He's the third guy. It's more about Hugh Jackman, who's left-handed. The character's name is Robert. Forget his last name. And then Christian Bale. Dude's got an accent in that. I mean, I know he's not American, but his character's name is Alfred. And they have last names. Didn't write it down. But it's these two guys, like these random ass dudes, and it's something like 1897. So it's before talkies. It's really before film. It's in the vaudeville era, and they're in London. So we're gonna hear some accents. It right away it starts out with the murder, so it's like, oh wow, this is interesting. We get to see Hugh Jackman drown, and Christian Bale is just kind of standing there watching it happen. Like, damn, dude, you're just letting him die. And Michael Caine's at the trial, and basically saying he can't explain how a trick is done. You know, even after swearing on a Bible, you can't give up those kind of secrets. So I'm like, wow, that's a conundrum. I wonder if that ever came up. That should have come up on Law and Order when Jack McCoy was still the DA. Because, like, how do you make a magician tell a secret? So they're like, it just gets into a whole subplot area thing that doesn't exist. But like, the film is just starting. It's got me thinking like that. Interesting conundrum there. Jenna said, I saw a doe in labor today. A foot was hanging out. Wow. Beach Happy, remember what happened to the film. Okay, cool. Yeah. Now, right away, there's an actor. I think I recognized his voice before I saw his face. The actor's name is Roger Rees, Rees. You know him as the Sheriff of Rottingham from Robin Hood, Men in Tights. That's him. This is a Chris Nolan film, so Chris Nolan is known for not using special effects the way you would expect them to. It's not Transformers, it's not a Marvel film, so if he's using special effects, it's just like the electricity, of course, that's special effects, but it's not going to be, you're not going to have like a whole CGI dude or, you know, like weird shit like that. That just, he does not use special effects in that way. So if that's the kind of film you like, you're going to be disappointed. Oh my God. Michael said, oh, we had a fawn born today on his mountain. Well, you've got a whole mountain. Oh my God. That's awesome. I springtime. This is when all like the cats and critters are born. Pardon me, my nose is dripping. Later on, we see Andy Serkis playing an American Gollum with a shotgun. He's in that, and then we also we get into, like, I'm not really following the plot of the story because I really can't remember, but like these two guys want to be magicians. Hugh Jackman is more about like the showman part of it, like putting on a big show, like come on, come all, this kind of a thing. Whereas Christian Bale more, he wants to know what the secrets are. Like, he's not about the big look at me, look at me. He just wants to know the secrets of it. And then like he'll sell it later, but he just wants to know the ins and outs of all the secrets. And he's got a good eye for it. So like you really don't have to tell him, he'll just see the trick. And it's like they end up working together, and then they got a girl working with them. I remember her from Coyote Ugly. Was that the film? I can't think of the actress's name. She's in it, but she's married to Hugh Jackman, and I don't understand why. Like, Christian Bale's all on about tying her wrist in this certain kind of way. Nobody can fucking see it. When it comes to the stage, it's just like the camera. It gives zero fucks about what it cannot see. So who cares how her wrists are tied? All it matters is that she doesn't die and she gets out of the fucking tank. But he must have just tied her wrist wrong. She ends up drowning. I don't know why he didn't break that glass faster. I don't know why the husband wasn't reacting. He's just letting some other dude save his wife. So dude just like hanging back, just letting her die. But she ends up drowning. It's before CPR. And there's a guy up on the stage like presenting, kind of a heavier set dude. He's from Deadwood. The actor's name is Ricky Jay. He is in Deadwood. I recognize him right away. Like, ah! I just did not know his, real name. What's his character's name? Michael, also precious and polka dotted. Aw. Jenna, I have about 20 deer behind my house. They are a pain in the butt, though. Ugh. Jenna, Pride Month cometh, bro. A pride cometh, bro. The fawn is literally in our yard. A volunteer. Aw. Michael eating the flowers. Oh, Jenna said they eat everything she plants. Damn, my evergreen trees are eaten all the way back. Aw, son of a bitch. You hungry bastards. I guess the wife's name was Julie. She ends up dying. So okay, revenge story. Here we go. You kill my wife. That's generally considered a dick move in my culture. I'm going after. I would not have left that stage without murdering a man, but that's just me. Maybe he didn't like his wife that much. I don't know. They don't get it. They don't get that far into it. It's only a 2-hour movie. Michael said we have fucking armadillos now. What the fuck is even happening? Like, you armored bastards. If you don't morph and turn me into turn into an X potion, Final Fantasy VII reference. So these guys just end up, splitting ways, as of course they would. And Christian Bale, Christian Hugh Jackman wants to do this trick, like make the doves disappear, kind of a trick. But he's like, I don't want to kill doves. Michael Caine, like, you got to get your hands dirty. It's like, don't want to kill doves. But there's a way to make a dove disappear and not kill it, and he shows him this cool, nifty, like, cage trick. Lisa Gray said, sorry, my first thought is they would look really nice in my freezer. Yeah. Like, that's dinner up there. Yeah, Jenna's in PA. Yeah, Scarlett Johansson's in this. But before she got really famous, she was very good. I have not seen her in a lot of stuff since she's become, ScarJo. But she's still good. I think whenever Lady Gaga gets her plastic surgery, she tries to make herself look like Scarlett Johansson. I don't know why, or maybe they both go to the same person. And I didn't quite catch the character's name. I thought it was Lydia, but I guess it's Olivia. I mean, they kind of sound the same. I did not have subtitles on until the end, so. But yeah, Hugh Jackman gets up there and he's like, "We're gonna make this, a dove, like disappear safely." It's this cage you can see, and it's a box, and it's like two people are holding it on the side, two, two hands on the front, two hands on the, top and bottom, third person hands on the side. But it's like two people from the audience, and then the third person is the magician. And they just pick two random people. They just like, oh, you and you. It's a man and a woman. The lady gets up there, puts her hands on there. The guy gets up there, puts his hands on there. But we see the dude's hand is missing a couple of fingers because earlier in the film, um, Christian Bale's trying to like up the ante and doing his like bullet catching trick, and that goes wrong because Hugh Jackman shot him in the hand, so now he shows up with this fucked up hand and he fucks up the dove, or like the bird, sparrow, whatever, trick, kills that, scares the hell out of the lady. Nightcock, glad you made it. Yeah, I wonder how armadillo tastes, Lisa asked. So this just keeps happening where, like, like we follow one character and you think they're doing cool things with their act, and then something causes it to get fucked up, and it's the other guy. And then we follow the other guy, and he wants to get farther along in his act, but then something fucks that up because it's the first guy. Like the way these two keep like fucking with each other as time goes on, it felt like an anime. Like who could be behind this? Could it be this guy? Who could be behind this thing now? Could it be that? You know, like it's never going to be like a person we have not been introduced to. So it started to really feel like an anime. Like, not necessarily in a bad way, but it did sort of make it become predictable. And I don't know if that's because I saw that trend. Maybe I just watched too many movies. I wasn't trying to like guess the film ahead of time. But I did get that vibe from it, which is fine. So I'm like, okay, I'm here for this. Hugh Jackman comes to the United States. He goes to Colorado Springs. By the way, yeah, Nightcock, Nightcawk. It's his same name, just with the one letter changed. But that's the one we get to like. This is like the shot, one of the shots from the film you have seen, whether you watch the movie or not. That's when like it's nighttime, or you know, like maybe twilight, and the ground is covered in snow. But all we see is like this field going out as far as you can see, and it's nothing but these evenly spaced out lights that are light bulbs. The Prestige from 2006, Jenna. It's not a movie review. I literally just took 2 pages of notes as I was watching it because Frank was reviewing it. I don't know. I'd have to talk about it for work, or I would have paid more attention and had 2 or 3 times as many notes. Because it's a good movie. It's honestly, because like I do say, you do want to rewatch it to like pick up things you don't notice the first time. It is a type of film where like I would want to sit there and watch it 2 or 3 times so I could like tell you about everything. Like, okay, so you know this guy is really doing this because you know like put all the pieces together. It's good like that. It's really good like that. Michael referring to the Ozarks with the armadillos. It's bonkers. Nightcock, a couple of weeks ago, I was removing my grill cover, and the cover felt like it was caught under the grill. I pulled it out from under what I thought was the grill. It turned out to be a possum. Ew! He was trying to cook for you. Oh, Johnny, yeah, I was away. Didn't know. That's okay. Michael, that movie is the shit, though. Yeah, it's so it doesn't happen until like way towards the end, and you're like, wow, man, if I would have watched this, like when you watch The Sixth Sense, you get to the end of that, like, fuck, dude, I gotta see this again. And then you watch it a second time, like, why didn't I see it? Why didn't I see it? And then this scene, why didn't I see it? Like, you just, you kind of feel dumb for not noticing it before, but that's the point. It's so good that you don't notice it the first time. Francois, yeah, it's cock, CAWK, not hawk, like the bird. My brain, yeah, it's just, yeah. It sounds like cock, like COCK, like slang for penis. So that's why it's like I know you shouldn't explain the joke, but I explained his name. It wasn't exactly explaining a joke. Lisa Gray, I don't know nighttime in summer. I don't know daytime in winter. Oh wow, Alaska is so emo. Jenna, aw, possums are cute. Nightcock, he was so disoriented, blinded by the light. LMAO. Yeah, for nocturnal critters, some of these nocturnal critters are so dumb, not realizing things can move and let light in. Jenna, yeah, ugly but cute. Yeah, that's what it is. They got that ugly, beautiful. Michael, his review was King Tier Frank. But yeah, just like field covered in snow, covered in light bulbs, far as yeah can see out until your render distance gets far away. And I don't know a terrible lot about electricity, but nobody's ever seen anything like this before because I don't know exactly what year it is, and I wish I would have been paying attention to how much uh, Hugh Jackman pays for like something to be built because I've got that currency calculator thing. So I can't do that for this. It would be interesting to know, but they go to it gets to be there's like a presentation that Nikola Tesla is doing, and it's basically these people in a room, and it's just giant contraption with. It makes me think of those electricity balls like you put your fingers on, and then the electricity goes to your fingertips. It's like one of those, but without the case, and it's like big and it's tall, so it's scary, and people aren't used to electricity because it's 1899. So they're scared as fuck, like this thing's gonna explode. And Hugh Jackman's there to see it, but he looks over at this one dude who's sitting like right up next to it, just staring at it. Dude's not flinching, everybody else is running away. That's Christian Bale. Dude is not scared to die at all. So like you think you're gonna fuck with this guy. This guy is literally not scared of death. You're not you're in for a fight. Because you have to be not scared to die if you're going up against somebody like that. And then it's Hugh Jackman sort of like watching Christian Bale, and then that's when he sees, oh, now he's got a wife and a little daughter now. So it's like, here's this motherfucker with his family, and I'm over here with the dead wife, pissed off. It's like, so dudes just like you can just feel like the pissed off level rising in him. Michael said, I only got midnight sun, not 24 hours. I don't need the help going cuckoo. I would just have my windows blacked out. Was it the film? Was it the film called Insomnia? It was Robin Williams, and he's up in Alaska solving a murder. But it's kind of hard to when it never gets fucking dark out. So that's part of the problem. He's trying to think and concentrate on this murder. At the same time, he's trying to block out his windows and do everything he can just to get some fucking dark so he can sleep. So he's got insomnia, trying to solve a murder. It's like you're crazy and trying to work. Or maybe it was the other actor in there. So, sorry if I spoiled that film for you. Lisa says, yeah, born and raised in Nome, moved south central to, uh, is that Kenai? Kenai? I've never been to Southeast on my bucket list. We kind of jump around a bit because it's like we're supposed to think like nowadays it's Christian Bale's locked up for the murder of Hugh Jackman. So we jump back to he's like usually in prison, and this guard's taunting him like, yeah, if you're such a great escape artist, how come you haven't escaped jail yet? And Bale's like, oh, maybe I'm just biding my time. And he always has this little red ball with him. And of course, Frank would like a movie that has balls in it, but it's just this little red bouncy ball. And he tries to do this like illusion, like he made it disappear in his hand, but then it drops out of his hand and he's like fumbling for it. And the guard's laughing at him. But then he stands up and walks away. And as he does that, the guard walks after him. Then he trips because he's got his leg chained to the table Christian Bale was just at. I swear I've seen that actor before playing that guard. I didn't look him up, but like he's familiar. That was funny. Yeah, great lighting throughout this whole film. I don't know if you look for that kind of thing. I certainly do. It's like he uses darkness well, doesn't hide things. Again, I was through that. Uses the lighting very well. He's not using lens flare. It looked like a Chris Nolan film. It like the background, just like the set dressing is incredible. At one point, it's the girl, the character's name is Sarah, but the building she lives in, like just the way the paint is peeling off of every single surface, like this building was painted 100 years ago and just never painted on the inside where people live again. It's incredible. Southeast is on the Panhandle, Lisa Gray is saying. Michael, I was on Kodiak and Spruce Islands. At Cock, oh, and Slide Down and Glacier Chute twice and eat Mountainside. At full clip. Michael said Sitka and Kodiak really similar. Like towns. Yeah, this is when we see, I forget exactly when, but Nikola Tesla is played by David Bowie. I forgot he's an actor, and it's like, holy shit, he was still a. Wait a minute. And I was I kind of didn't want to think of this, but then I started thinking about it during Frank's review, and then somebody said it. They're like, "This was 10 years before Bowie died," and I was thinking, yeah, I was thinking that. I just didn't want to say it because because we lost a lot of people in 2016. He was one of them, but it was still around. I haven't seen too much of his acting. I know more about him from like films than his actual music. I know he's a Capricorn. Um, I'm just trying to think. He's in a scene where he's outside with Hugh Jackman, and it's I think it's one of my favorite scenes. Yeah, it is. It's got to be, yeah, because Hugh Jackman just wants something to like impress people with, and Tessa's like, yeah, impressing people is cool until they don't want to be impressed anymore, and then they just think you're a weirdo and want you to go away. Because at first I was innovative, and people thought it was great, and then I tried to be more innovative, and they asked me to retire. So here I am enjoying my retirement, and just kind of has to be at peace with where he is in life. Dennis says Nikki's on a roll. Thank you. Lisa Gray said, "Fun fact: Grizzlies are coastal, Browns are inland." Grizzly. Are grizzlies the black bears? I know with bears, like the lighter the color, the more danger you're in. Not like you're gonna like run into a black bear and just have a good time, and just cocaine bear and Smokey the bear with him. But like in general, like a polar bear is gonna fuck you up worse than any of the other bears. But yeah, Tesla's like, like, yeah, I can build this thing for you and all that stuff, but when's it gonna stop? Like what's the next thing you're gonna build? Sort of. They don't exactly say this stuff, but like the whole underlying theme is, especially with Hugh Jackman, and I totally get this. After his wife died, what does he have left? All he has is performing. All he has is the stage. So all he's doing is like one, trying to get revenge for get against Christian Bale because like he killed his wife, and two, the only thing he has is to perform. He wants the applause. He wants the fame, the recognition. So that's what he's chasing after. That's what he wants more than anything. And Tesla's trying to tell him that like that's a dangerous path to be on. Like, yeah, we'll keep you going for a while, but eventually he's talking about obsession. And Tesla's saying that he followed his own obsessions for too long. And he says one day they will choose to destroy me. And that's how it is with obsession. You either are with it the whole way, no matter what it's going to do to you, or you have to know when to stop because you know what it's going to do to you. So there's no middle ground. You're either 100% for it or you get the fuck away. And it's kind of in one ear and out the other. He just, Hugh Jackman just wants to be the bigger performer, to just build this electrical thing for me. Like, I don't even know what it does. They really kind of don't explain what it does. It just, the fact that it makes electrical, like sparks and things shoot out is enough to impress people. So that's going to be a big enough draw. Again, it's before 1900. And later on, it's Michael Caine. I think his character's name was Cutter, like last name. I could be wrong, so I'm just gonna call him by his actor name. Talking about how Christian Bale, his character, he's a wonderful magician, but he's a dreadful showman. Like he doesn't want like the come one come all step right up, ladies and gentlemen. He's not that guy. So that's where he suffers. He might know all the tricks, but how's he going to get the asses on the seats to see the tricks? So he's like the second half of a full package. He needs a partner. But they find out that he's got this incredible. Hugh Jackman finds out Bale's got this transporting man trick, so he's got to go see it. Lisa Gray says both brown. They don't share the cocaine. Yeah, I bet not. Come on, man. Let me just get on for a bump. You wake up next to DB Cooper, like, oh fuck, is that what happened to you? But Hugh Jackman goes, and he's had ScarJo working with him this whole time. But he comes back home and he sits down. He had to put on all this makeup so nobody could recognize him. And he's just, it's like, I just saw the greatest magic trick I've ever seen in my entire life. And the dude was just dumbfounded. It's like, what happened was they jumped back to, there's Christian Bale. And he, I think he takes that bouncy ball. There's two doors on the stage. You know, he bounces the ball, steps through the one door, ball bounces. By the time it gets to the other door, there he is stepping out to catch it. You know, audience freaks out, as anybody would. So Hugh Jackman thinks, well, let me just rip off that trick. And I believe Michael Caine's like, what are we going to call it? It's like, well, it's basically the same trick. Why don't we just basically use the same name? So it's like I don't know what the name of the trick was, but he basically rips off the name and the trick. Like, I guess you could do that back then. I don't know if there was like a copyright type of a thing, but I can make a man disappear better than you can, or farther, whatever the hell it was. Like, I think that's flip flop, something like that. Because I know that when Hugh Jackman does it, he's tossing the hat. But this is when now Hugh Jackman has to figure out this trick, so then he tells Scarlett Johansson, "Hey, go work for him." She's like, "What? He knows I work for you." And he's like, "I know he knows that. And you're going to tell him how I do my tricks, so he'll trust you, and you can learn how he does that trick, and then you can come back and tell me." And she's just, like, she doesn't have a choice, but you can tell, like, she's not cool with it. I was thinking, like, dude, he just killed the last blonde girl that you had around you. What's to make you think that she's not going to end up dead? Because it gets to be a point in the film, and I don't know if, again, if it's me watching too many films, I wouldn't say the film's predictable, but it does get to a point where, like, I start to notice patterns, and like killing the blonde girl, I'm like, oh no, are they going to kill ScarJo? I don't know. I was low key expecting it. Like, let me not get attached to her too much. I shouldn't have learned her name. So, like, nothing is happening with Tesla. You have to go up into these cold ass mountains to go visit him. There's an electric fence. So Hugh Jackman goes to visit him a second time, and all it is, it's this big warehouse, like this big, like, kind of like cage thing that's kind of open. Like when you get scanned when you go through the airport, it's like that. And this big electrical thing, and all it is just shooting these like electricity down at a regular ass black top hat on the ground. That's it. It doesn't catch fire. It doesn't get bigger. It doesn't become animated for a second. There isn't suddenly a dude underneath it. It's just a hat that doesn't move, and we're just staring at it like it's gonna like jump up and do a trick, but it doesn't. It's not gonna move. I watched it. And Hugh Jackman's like looking at Andy Serkis and David Bowie and looking at the hat, like, who's that gonna impress? What does that even do? And you know, like, what am I paying you for? And they're like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We're working on it. We're working on it. Sure, I'm glad you're making progress. The Electric Top Hat, Electric Chapel, made me think of that song. So they can't figure out this two dude trick at all. And Michael Caine at one point saying, "We don't do any tricks we can't control." So what they figure out to do was Hackman's like, "I'll just find a dude that looks like me. We'll dress him up like me, and he can be the second part of the act." Michael says, "Nikki, are you considering incorporating clips?" I have considered like just like pauses after I mentioned things. So like there would be time for someone to edit in clips at another time. You have to, this is 100% imagination. If you didn't see the film, I'm not that great at describing areas, so you'll just have had to have seen it. I would like clips. It would make me very much more professional. It would be very cool to like say like, make a Gray Still Plays reference and then like edit in the part I'm mentioning and give them credit for it or stuff like that. If I had a team, I'd have hella editing. I would like to learn how to. I'd like to have the patience to learn how to do that because I think I would be good at it just because of the timing thing. Okay, Beach said that I just googled the film. Christian Bale was in a film called The Machinist. I know I have not seen that. So they find this dude that looks like Hugh Jackman. I don't know if it was him playing a second role. I don't know if it was another dude in a makeup. But like clean him up, it looks just like him, except this dude stays on the sauce. Like this dude is just always like, up for a good time. Where do you need me to be? I'll be there early. Just drink. What one of these, a lush. Michael, yeah, I would have to have like say like maybe like clips from a movie that I saw and then like edit them in. And then I don't know about copyright, so I don't know how much. Like I know like showing moving film that gets into an issue, but you can show like some still shots and be okay. Maybe if you're not talking, not like say if it's like a Disney film. So what happens is that this drunk guy who what they do is like Hugh Jackman, like everybody check it out, here's my two-door trick, gonna disappear. He walks up to the door, takes his hat off, like chucks it, so just flies to the other side of the stage. And as the hat gets to the other side of the stage, that's when the second door opens. That's when like the drunk guy comes out, picks up the hat, gets all the applause. I'm freaking out, all this stuff. But like practically what's happening is Hugh Jackman, okay, everybody watch this. You've never seen this kind of trick before, even though they just saw Christian Bale do it. You never seen it done this way. So, he throws his hat, opens the door, falls underneath the stage, and there's like this big giant like cushion thing that he falls on. Sounds kind of hard too. Like, dude, that would have hurt my ass, even as the actor. Like that does like they must use the sound effect because that would hurt my back. But he's lying there, and a second later, from under the stage, you hear all the applause and stuff like that. And dude's just lying there listening to it. He tries to get up and look because there's like little slots you can just, barely see the light coming through, but you really can't see anything. And all you can do is hear it. He's just standing there by himself doing his bow while this other alcoholic motherfucker is getting all the applause. And you can tell that's just killing him inside. Like, no, I put this together. All I do is fall underneath the fucking stage and they clap for the drunk. Oh, hell no. This has to be rearranged. Like, I knew what he was thinking. He was pissed off. No. You get the applause for my work? Fuck. But what gets to happen is that they go to the trick one night. Hugh Jackman falls. The cushion is gone. He lands on his leg. You hear a crack. He grabs it. I'm thinking, oh, fuck. I've already got the bad knees. So I'm like, dude, I'm feeling it for you. He looks over to where, like, the guy's supposed to be because he gets raised up on this old type of elevator. The guy's just, like, standing there holding his, like, liquor bottle. And Jack's like, get the fuck up there. And just drink, glug, glug. Then he goes up. Oh, picks up the hat. This is where I left. It just, like, just fucks up the whole fucking routine. Maybe that was the second performance because you see him drop down onto that cushion thing, and I'm thinking that's going to go away at some point and it's going to be bad. And it went away at some point and it was bad. I think like like that's not the no he does it one time and then like the guy shows up late but he had the cushion but then another time Christian Bale's just like fuck it I want to see how this goes so like that's when he shoves his way back there and sees it but he like the cushion's gone I forget exactly how this worked out, but instead of like the drunk guy getting raised up, it was Christian Bale getting raised up there, and then it's like they like tied up the drunk guy, so he's hanging up. Well, like they didn't like hang him, kill him, like that. He was like hung up and still alive with a sign hanging on him, telling him to like go across the street to like Christian Bale's show. Meanwhile Hugh Jackman's under there with his busted leg. I might have some of that continuity wrong. Yeah, Christian Bale. His wife Sarah's giving him shit. Like at this point, like they've had the kid, but she's just upset with him. She's like, you live your act. It never stops for him. And with their relationship before they even got together, he's like, yeah, some days I love you more. Or she notices, she's like, she asks if he loves her. He says, yeah. And she's like, you know what? I believe you today because some days I think you love magic more than you love me. And he's kind of like, yeah, that's kind of true. Um, but now it's been a few years now, and she just wants him to stop. He's so is on. He's always that guy. She wants him to stop and just be a real dude. She tells him to stop performing. He can't do that. Michael Machinist kicked ass. Patrick Michael Caine, real name Maurice. Micklewhite, born Rotherhithe, London, true Cockney. Yeah, I have heard. In order to be Cockney, you have to be born within like so many miles of a certain area. He's got the accent. You can tell by the way the man talks. But the most of the time we've been reading this, it's I forget whose it is. I want to say Hugh Jackman's been reading this journal that he thought Christian Bale wrote because it would have his secrets in it. But then he's getting to the last page talking about, like, dude, you thought this was real. You probably read this whole fucking thing and thought this was a real journal. I've been like, he doesn't say it in those words, but basically he gets to the last page and realizes he's been trolled and he gets pissed off. And that kind of fucked me off. I'm like, wait, so this whole time it's been a lie? Wait, what are we supposed to know? So he realizes the journal's fucked up. Well, let's go see what Tesla's up to because all he was doing before was zapping hats. Go back up here to this fucking mountain in this fucking snow. It's Andy Circus and all this stuff. Okay, well now what they're doing inside there with the whole thing, there's they bring out this like carrier, like animal carrier. And right there, I'm thinking, do I have to stop this movie? Is this where it ends for me? Because that's crossing the line. Animal abuses. So it's like, hold on, hold on. Of course, they can't hurt an animal. Let me pay attention to this. It's they put the cat where the hat was and do the electricity thing. It's a fake cat. You can tell it's some kind of like puppet cat when they show it. But it's fine. It's just this black cat. It's fine. Dusty Blue, glad you made it. And the cat just gets zapped, and then it just sits there. It doesn't start talking. It doesn't stand up. It doesn't ask for lasagna, nothing. It just is okay. So it's like, well, like I'm glad you didn't kill this cat, but again, what the fuck? You just zapped it with electricity, and he's kind of over it. Like, I'm giving you all this money to make. What are you even doing with this? So like my Hugh Jackman's just pissed off, so he just walks out, but the cat's kind of following him. And I'm thinking, cool, is he gonna get a cat buddy for the rest of the film? But he walks outside. He's just so pissed off. He's just walking. He's just walking. And as he's walking along, he's looking over. Everything's kind of like foggy, like low render distance again. But he sees this field, and it's just nothing but hats, like the same type of black hat, like 20 or 30 of them just scattered about, like somebody was just dumping them and just tossing them in an area. And as he's looking at these hats, he's seeing there's a couple of black cats walking around. And as we're looking at this, we're realizing, like, wait, we just saw that machine zapping top hats and cats, and suddenly there's like more out here than we can count. And then here's Andy Circus and David Bowie talking about, like, yeah, we were doing the experiment, but we just kind of didn't know the outcome of it. I guess this is it. So it's this electrical machine. you zap things with and it duplicates them. Now, there's two ways to look at this. Well, I have seen this kind of thing before, just not done in this way. In Final Fantasy VII, you get an item called the W item materia, and there's something called the W item glitch. It allows you to use two items in one turn. So what you do is you select an item, select a person to use it on, you hit enter. You get the option to use a second item. You select the person you want to use it on, but instead of hitting enter, you go back. You select them again, go back. Every time you go in and go back, you get another item. So you can get 99 of any item, like 99 elixirs. That's the W item glitch. This is that materia glitch in real life with electricity. The other way to look at it is we've seen it duplicate hats and cats. Is it an at duplicator? Can we put bats in there? Can you, if you put a fat person in there, does it make them fatter? Cap, like a baseball cap. Does it only work on caps? Like if you put a horse in there, will it kill it because it doesn't rhyme with at? So what is it an at orator? Or is it just like W item materia in real life? Don't know, but that's what it does. And they're all exactly the same. They're all at one point Bowie's like says, don't forget your hat. And he's, which hat is mine? He's like, well, they're all yours. So it just makes a duplicate of the thing. Maybe like a 3D printer. And they use like angry cat, stock angry cat sounds. I like the Wilhelm scream, but for angry cats, those are the sounds they use. Yeah, field of top hats and black cats. It's the greatest shot in the whole film. Like, I see why Frank recommended this. Yep, don't forget your hat. Yeah, that's when I figured out. W item materia glitch, an at duplicator. So that's cool as hell. Very magical. Now we're jumping ahead to we're seeing Sarah, that's Christian Bale's wife, and she's hitting the sauce. She don't care. Doesn't want her husband to touch her because by this time she knows that he's screwing around with Scarlett Johansson. And like I do kind of feel sorry for her at the same time. She knew what he was like before they got together, so like I'm only like half sorry for her. But then they do this, like I saw this coming. They show some rope, so we're thinking about like when the girl drowned at the beginning of the film, and like the wife is in like the magic shop with all the stuff, and she's looking up at these high beams, and the light's hitting her neck, and she looks down at the rope, and the next time we see her, she's hanging up from a beam. R.I.P. That sucks. Beachap can't tell what the red avatar is supposed to be. It doesn't show me, like, it gives me the wrong colors. It makes Michael's, instead of green the way it is, quite frankly, it's white with, I can't even, my eyes can't focus. I don't know if that's gray or dark green for the letter M. But it doesn't do that for every, like, no, it does it for Patrick too. It does it reverse because Patrick's background is normally white and then he's got something in the middle. But watching it here, it's black with something in the middle. Why do I get the Bizarro? Does it do it for me too? Avatar? Does it like it okay, maybe it's because it's my channel. It turns out fine for me, but I don't know why it does that. I don't know why I can't count in a poll either. So Hugh Jackman's like, well, let me bring this electricity, thing. This is going to impress people. So he takes it to some theater, and he's going to, show the guy who owns the theater to try to impress them, and get a be able to do gig at his place. And he lights up the electricity thing, and the guy's like, "Oh, it's very pretty." But he's so impressed that he's like, "Yeah, you can do 100 shows here." Basically gives him a job. Michael said, "Do you guys have any idea how important I am? Nikki knows my non-PFP color across accounts. Yeah, if I can remember, that's saying something. I don't remember what I said 5 minutes ago." And at one point, this is later on, Scarlett Johansson was talking to Christian Bale, and it's kind of like he's not even sad that his wife died. And she tells him it's inhuman to be so cold. Because I was thinking this dude was like, is he like schizophrenic? Is he like some kind of bipolar? Just where he's just like so like just not unfeeling the way he can be. And now this part is weird. This I don't know if this was like an editing thing. I don't know if we're supposed to think time passed. That's why we didn't see this because it's Hugh Jackman on stage. They bring up the water tank with no water in it, and he's saying how dangerous of a trick it is. And then we jump right to the electrical shit. And at first I'm thinking, wait, I know electricity and water don't mix. Or are you gonna like electrocute somebody in the water tank? But we don't see the water tank anymore. So why do they bring it out on the stage? I don't understand. I would have to watch it again. I think that's a continuity error. It's just like, hey, remember this from earlier in the movie? Anyway, it's why was it there? Now I wonder about this because what happens is um Hugh Jackman when he lets people go up on stage to inspect the thing. So like I say, it's got these two like parenthesis type of it's not completely enclosed. It's just sort of like to keep the electricity in, and with like this big like metal ball hanging from the top. It's not like a disco ball; it's just solid silver, and then just like extra wires and stuff. The way steampunk. Think of it that way. So what he does is, and then Christian Bale's watching really close because Hugh Jackman steps in the middle, the electricity things happen, and then there's like this big, boom or something like that. And the audience doesn't see this, but Christian Bale just sees the very end of the trap door like closing right back up, so he knows he falls to the ground. But then you look over here, and he's way up here on the balcony like this, and Christian Bale don't know how to act. Like I just saw that motherfucker fall through the floor. How like there's no like a human cannot move that quickly. I don't care how much crack and cocaine you're on. They didn't really have crack back then, but cocaine, whatever uppers they had, completely impossible. So yeah, this is when Bale pushes his way underneath the stage. He has to see how this is done. He didn't push his. It's never mind what I said before. I just pretend I've been right about everything. But this is Christian Bale pushes his way backstage, a part of the act. So he wants to see what happens, and what happens is Lisa Gray. I'm special, all right. A VIP, Michael. She said. We're all special, but not in the short bus kind of way. So what happens is on the stage there's all the electricity, all the zapping stuff shooting down. Trapdoor opens up. Hugh Jackman falls down underneath into the water tank, full of water. Lid closes, it locks. He's just stuck in there. He's not trying to get out. And Christian Bale sees this, like, what the fuck? I'm watching this dude die in front of me, and he's trying to you break the glass to get him out. It is hitting at it, hitting at it. There's only people just can't hold their breath that long, adrenaline, dramatic, all this stuff. Dude ends up, just drowning in this tank. And there's Christian Bale just staring at him. Like, this is not the way it happened at the start of the movie. And then you hear like, applause, like there, dude's probably up there, out, where they can't see because they're underneath the stage, but you hear the applause, like there's the prestige. That's the payoff for the trick. You got the setup, you got the dude falling away. Then you got the guy at the end. It's always three parts. So Bale's like thinking, oh, okay, I just saw this dude die in front of me. So who's that motherfucker up there? And now we really have a mystery. Nightcock, sorry, I'm dealing with customers. Tell him to fuck off. Quite frankly, he's usually on this time of day. Uh, Now this is what things kind of get a little bit confusing in the film, but things were also predictable in a way where I wasn't surprised, but then things happen that I don't understand. For one, it's like we say, Christian Bale's been in jail for killing Hugh Jackman, and he's going to be hung for it. But earlier at the start of the movie, when Sheriff of Rottingham went to visit him, he gave him this card talking about some Lord such and such offered to care for his daughter. Since now we know that the mom's dead, we don't want this little 4 or 5 year old girl going to a workhouse. And Bale's like, yeah, just send her away to that guy. It'll be good for her. It's better than going to the workhouse. Anyway, jump to the end of the film. There's, he wants to see his daughter one last time, so she's brought there, and the guy who brings her is Hugh Jackman. Oh my God, he's really alive. I wasn't surprised by that because I was used to like this anime back and forth thing that was going on. That when it was like I know the audience is supposed to be surprised, but I was so not surprised. I was kind of disappointed. Like, oh, maybe I should have been. I wasn't like smoke. I thought I was going to smoke it on the balcony a lot when I was watching it, but it was so engaging. I barely hit the pipe. So maybe that was my fault for not being higher. But I was not surprised by that. I saw that coming. Okay, now here's what doesn't make sense. They get to the end where it's Hugh Jackman ends up getting shot by Christian Bale, so he's dying and like confessing some stuff. How they did their tricks was what Christian Bale did is he got this other dude that looks just like him. Now I didn't catch if this was a twin brother. I didn't catch if it was a clone because earlier Bale did mention the word Tesla. But that's it, just that word. So I don't know if he made a clone. I don't know if this was like a brother, like twin brother, or something like that. But what they had to do to the second guy to make him look like Christian Bale was to, cut off those last two fingers because like he would wear gloves to make it look like he had fingers, but in real life, he was missing those, two like that. So they show him, dudes fighting down on something, and they got, both their hands lined up, and they're gonna, cut off the other dude's fingers. So like this second dude was getting his fingers cut off. This dude's a psycho. He ends up being now Christian Bale always has this dude following him around, like a little bit chubby in the face, glasses, hat. I don't think he barely says anything the whole movie. That's him. That's the guy. I thought he was just gay for him because they were always hanging out together. Like, oh, what's really going on? No, that was just him in character, and they would switch up so much that like even the wife Sarah didn't know. Nobody knew, and it's not like hey, on Tuesday I'm him, and then on Wednesday you're him. It was just like whenever they could get away with it. So that's why it always seemed so like two-sided because it was literally two dudes. So like the dude who had his extra fingers cut off, he was the one who was fucking ScarJo. Meanwhile, the real Christian Bale, he really loved Sarah. So like he was really sad that his wife died. Again, I don't know if it was, like brothers. I don't know if it was one of the clones. I would have to watch it again. Michael, LOL, I just crisscrossed Illusionist and Prestige. I did too because they have the Illusionist on Tubi, and I'm thinking, oh, cool, they have that. Wait a minute. Haven't seen it yet. Second Horizon, glad you made it. Chasing a gnat with your baseball bat. Nightcock, that's for after they pay me. Fuck off. Now, what was happening with Hugh Jackman, though? He was using that duplicator machine. He was doing the W item glitch, but it's They show him jump back in time to the first time he ever did it. He had a revolver off to the side just in case. So what happened was, he steps in the middle, zap, zap, zap. Next thing you know, there's a second one of him just outside of it, and they both look at the gun. And the guy outside of it, he's like, no, no way. And then the guy inside grabs the gun and, shoots him. So the guy outside of it, dies. So with that in mind, what happens every night is, the guy goes out on stage, he drops through the floor, drowns, dies, and then you have that copy up there up on the balcony. But the thing is, Hugh Jackman drops into the water. He doesn't know if he's drowning that night or if he's going to be the guy up on the balcony getting the prestige and the applause at the end. So that's every single night. He does not know. He doesn't know if it's his last performance. He just does not know. So he just has to live like that, knowing every performance could be his last one. Now, here's where it doesn't say this, and this is where we have to speculate. Because it could be anything. Does he in fact die every night? And it's just a clone continuing on that has his memories? Or is he taking a chance and just somehow it's just the luck of the draw, 50-50, and he gets to live every night? So he's been doing all these performances with that fear inside of him, knowing it could be his last performance. And then, okay, so what if he's not real? What if he is a clone? Are we meant to believe that the clone has all of the memories and the experiences of the original person? Or do we think they're like some kind of, for lack of a better term, subhuman? Like maybe they don't have those memories and those human emotions, but they know how to fake them, if you get what I'm saying. We get all this information at the very end of the movie. I had to put on subtitles, so there's like no time to think about it in the film. And I think they might leave it open ended like that to like leave it up for the reader to decide, so they don't have to like put a fine, like say exactly what it is, like leave it a mystery. But yeah, Hugh Jackman, he's talking about he killed himself every night for the performance. He didn't know if he'd die or if he'd get the applause. And he said the world is simple. And it really is. He just, again, he had nothing left. Lisa Gray, interesting pondering. Yeah, because like then we get into the whole that's when he got into it, like the quite frankly film discussion, and people were like, do clones have souls? No, of course they don't. You have to tell people that, they just don't know that. But yeah, so what are we meant to believe? Like personally, I want to believe that he's still the original guy. Every night the clone dies, but like the very last shot we see is like one of those water containers, and like he's floating in it, and I couldn't tell if his eyes are open or not because it's literally like the last shot of the film before the credits, and I couldn't quite pause it to see. But like, so he's keeping all of his dead bodies, but I think that's because like the guy, like the Hugh Jackman guy, he's like, those are all clones, like it's really him, so he's just living with this fear that he's going to die every single night for every performance just for the applause, and that's all he has left. So he has to, like, there is no option to not perform because it's not like he has a wife and child to go home to, so all he has is the applause, and so that makes it worth it to him. It's worth it to him to not know if he's going to die every night, just to hear that roar. And then he dies and like kicks over a lamp, so everything like burns down. Nice how that happens. And then we get to see Christian Bale. He does get to eventually like be with his daughter and like live the happy life with her. Um, I this is interesting because I wasn't really looking for this, but then when I tried to look for it, I couldn't find it. There's really no clear answer as to who's the good guy, who's the bad guy, because they spent it's kind of like an even playing field, and then they're just trying to one up each other until it gets so bad that one of them dies. So it's not like there's a good guy here. It's like, yeah, Christian Bale gets to be with his daughter, but like he did all this other stuff. We don't know if he killed Hugh Jackman's wife, so like it's not like we're really on his side. We can't really be on Hugh Jackman's side. It just, so it's I think that's why they don't say exactly like if he's still a clone. Like they do want to leave that all up in the air to speculate on because like that's the fun of films. You don't want to like be ham-fisted and give your audience all of the answers because then what the hell are they going to talk about? Also, thankfully, there can't be a sequel, so we don't have to worry about like the Prestige getting W itemed and cloned, so that won't happen. But since you know that now, that's why it's good to rewatch. Like, let me go back and watch this quiet guy with the glasses. And like watch how he moves, like watch how he uses his hands, and just like is like when is he different with Sarah? Is he, like when and exactly when did he find this dude? Because it would have been sometime after his hand was shot. And like little stuff like that would be fun to like go back and like now that you know, like that's why. Okay, so that's like now you know again. It's like sorry if everyone the sixth sense, but that's what it's like once you know the secret. The second time you watch it's like it's like watching a second movie. It's like watching a movie you've never seen before, even though you've seen it. So it's good that it has that rewatch value. Sorry to say I didn't quite notice the music too much. It was not that's sort of good. In a way, music is supposed to sort of fade into the background and not be noticeable. So the fact that it wasn't like, oh, I guess I'm listening to the score now, it didn't do that to me. But I guess they did it right. It was not by any of my film composers. It wasn't like it wasn't it was just right. I'll put it like that. It wasn't like too hand fisted. It wasn't overbearing. It wasn't like the Boondock Saints. We're like, oh, I guess we're hearing the background music now. Oh shit! But yeah, it was not like that at all. Very, very subtle, very appropriate. Again, it was like 2 hours long, maybe 2 hours and 10 minutes, so it's not a very long film. Kept me entertained the whole time. There was not an extended bullfighting scene. I was just watching it for fun, so I was not doing any pausing. I just wanted to. I didn't know how Frank did his movie reviews. I didn't know if he was going to go like scene by scene or like concepts, characters, stuff like that. It was only an hour too. It was like 51 minutes. It felt so short. Be a chapter started sneezing galore. So yeah, that's the Prestige again, and not an official like film review for the channel. I just wanted to talk about what I couldn't talk about at Frank's review since I did write some stuff down. Very cool. It's nice to see a materia, which is magic from the planet, to take that concept but like use it in real life through electricity. Beach at my forehead is also extremely warm. All good. We'll sort it all out by keeping extra warm. Yeah, my head's sweating too. I wonder why. It's good. Yeah, sorry about the bathroom break. I'll try to eat more, drink less next time. But yeah, the Prestige. I've been sharing links for it online. It's just one of those free sites. I guess I've got other stuff too. I just haven't had time to click around there and check it out. But it was a cool movie. I'm glad Frank recommended it. I'm glad it had top hats and cats. Gave me an excuse to wear a top hat. Dusty Blue, did Frank head up to and Adirondacks this week? No. In May he goes up to Collinsport, Maine, and in October that's when he goes to look for a Bigfoot. So right now he's up in the city that's got the TV show that I will be talking about on this channel. I don't know why he goes up there. I know at least like one or two Franklies that live up there. Jim Zella's up there somewhere. I don't know what he looks like. Yeah, I was thinking too. Yeah, Frank does go. He does take some time off around Christmas. That's next year. I shouldn't even think about that. Yeah, beach. Yep. Yeah, with the seasons changing, sometimes like your health gets. No, I wouldn't say bad. It just like changes a bit. Like I think I get sneezy in the springtime just because like oh maybe I need a spring clean. There's just more dust moving around with the air. It's not so bad. Yeah, it was just the one show, quite frankly, this week. He'll be back the 27th, but I'm going to be live all this week, just kind of kicking it, talking a little bit about Dark Shadows from 1966. Link to that in the description. There's also a poll going on. I don't know if you guys want to continue to watch one film a month on this channel. If you do, we will. If you don't, we can put that on pause. The poll for that is in the description as well. I'll close that up on Saturday. Give everybody time to vote. If it makes you choose something you didn't choose because YouTube can't count, just comment what you chose. I'll use that. Oh, cool. Beach Apple. The doctor I used to see is back from retirement. Wow. Oh, hopefully he hasn't lost a step. Yeah, this Saturday I'll be doing a real review on Jabberwocky since that's what got chosen on this channel. As far as Frank goes, I don't know if he has other plans to do other public, like eventually sometime he said he will maybe do another public, film club. He just doesn't have an exact date. Michael definitely smoking on the balcony. Replying to Discord here, replying to you on Discord. Nice. Yeah, I'm on Discord as well. Nikki M. Carlin. Nikki M. Carlin everywhere. Except stuff like TikTok or OnlyFans. That's Pornhub. That's not me. I'm sorry. Those are fake accounts. You can report those. But yeah, it was great to see everybody on a Tuesday. Yeah. We'll be doing something like this all week. Just kind of general. I'm not trying to like fill it up entirely with Dark Shadows because I realize there's folks who don't care, and that's kind of a lot for me to just sit and talk about just the one thing for so many episodes in a row. I'm not trying to scare people off of the channel or anything like that either. But just in the spirit of Gemini, it might be sort of like two things going on for a while. All live though, since regular video uploads don't fly, so you get to see it as it happens with fewer bathroom breaks. Dusty Blue said, thanks, Nikki, in chat. Take care, everyone. Yeah, take care, you too. I suppose you can leave your pants on the floor if you're just going to be back all through the week. Yeah, catch you on the flip side, Beach App. Don't forget to smash the like button on the way out. Thanks for the likes and the views and the subscriptions. It just makes YouTube think I'm a real person. So that's pretty cool. I don't like I don't like I don't need them to acknowledge me, but I kind of work here. I care more about what you guys think of me and how we interact with each other versus what the big faceless company that's always going to exist thinks of me. I care more about the people side. So it's not a big channel, but that's okay because we all know each other here. Lisa Gray said, great Tuesday with our intrepid Nikki. Cheers, chatters, and Nikki. Oh, thank you. Michael said, go buck wild, Nikki. It's the internet. Yeah. Lisa says, I do. Pardon my French. It just does not. Yeah, you can leave your pants. Get some good sleep. Get something to eat. Smoke out on the balcony. If you have not seen Dark Shadows, you still have time to get caught up with it. It's on Tubi for free right now. It does start out black and white, but then they figure out like, hey, this show's gonna be around for a while, and they give them color cameras, so it's okay. It's such a weird shift when it goes from black and white to color. You kind of feel like you're watching a separate show because now you gotta like consider the color of everything. Like those are blue. So it's fun with that, and just like, and when it happens too, it's like what, and then it sometimes jumps back and forth, and it's like, did we travel back in time? Why is it black and white? Oh, this is just the copy that survived. So it's fine. All of the episodes are there. But we'll talk about that this year. Patrick said, cheers, Nikki. Enjoyed. Night all. Yeah, good night to everybody. Take it easy. And can I get to my stop button? Nightcock, the Collinses are like one of the bloodline families, so I've heard. Well, the town of Collinsport was founded by one of their ancestors, and they've just managed to stay on the upper crust. But like when a rich family dwindles down, so like all the people in town like gossip about them. Like, well, I heard they do this, and I heard they get up to that. So it's like one of those type of families. They're just above it all and wonder why people don't, like whisper about them or why they do whisper about them. Like, well, stop being so damn mysterious and people wouldn't be wondering about your ass. So I hope you guys had a good time at, quite frankly, yesterday. Had a good time with the Prestige, had a good time here. I will see you guys tomorrow. Enjoy Gemini here. And thanks for giving me a platform where I can see you guys whenever Frank's busy. So till next time.